Welcome, class 5, for our lesson for today, and we continue with our topic, that is people and population. Remember, in the previous lesson, we were doing the Bantus. I sent a video, so I expect you to write these notes down so that at the end of it, you'll be able to show me where you have been writing. So the moment you are done with the Cushites and also the Semites, I'll require you to take a picture of your notes. So ensure you are writing these notes. So today, we want to look at the Nilotes, the second largest group in Kenya, language group in Kenya, after the Bantus. So the Nilotes, like the Bantus, they have their original homeland. Okay, before we start, let's learn something about them, the Nilotes. So like I told you last time, a language group consists of people who speak almost the same language, simply because they have the same ancestry or they have a common ancestor. In Kenya, we have the Bantus that we discussed last lesson, the Cushites, the Nilotes, the Semites, and others. We also have other foreigners like the Americans, the Asians, even the Arabs. So that one we're going to tackle later. But in the meantime, we'll start with the major language groups in Kenya. And I've told you the Bantus forms the largest language group in Kenya. So today we want to look at the second largest group in Kenya, language group in Kenya, that is the Nilotes. So the Nilotes, they are believed to have originated from South Sudan. Their original homeland is South Sudan, a place normally refers to as Bar Gazelle. And their main occupation or the work that they were doing, or even they are doing right now, is animal keeping, what we refer to as pastoralism. So if someone asks you the main occupation or the main activity that they were doing is keeping animals. So they were keeping animals and they were moving from one place to another, looking for water and pasture for their animals. That is what we refer to as nomadic pastoralism. That is why most of them were referred to as nomads. So their main reason for migration from one place to another, they were searching or they were in search of water and pasture for their animals. So because they were having large herds of cattle and maybe the pasture has been depleted or there was no water, then they were forced to move from one place to another in search of water for their animals and even grass. So pasture is grass for the animals. Then if you look at the picture that I prepared there, is you can see because they were keeping large herds of cattle, they had plenty of milk, and in their language they call it mursik. So milk will be fermented and then kept in that something like a pot that you see there that is traditionally made for that milk to ferment. Then after fermenting, it will be taken now. When you are taking your meal, you can eat. It's very sweet according to them. And all the Nilotes, all of them, they like that fermented milk, what we refer to as mursik in their language. And then if you also look at the picture also there is that if you also move to another area, you will find out that there is Maasai. If you look at their land, they have very large tracts of land where they can keep large herds of cattle. And they like jumping like that, believing now that they are the Morans. Yeah, they can take care of themselves. They are very courageous. They are very brave. And they also live in unity together. So the Maasai, look at the mode of dressing that they're dressing. So their culture is very different. It's very different from even the Bantu. Bantu speaking group, from the way they dress, their economic activities, even their cultural practices. So the culture is the people's way of life, the way they dress, the way they worship, even and the food that they eat. So these Nilotes also, like the Bantus, are also divided into various groups. So Nilotes are also divided into three groups. We have those Nilotes after migrating from South Sudan. There are those who came and settled at the plains of Kenya. For example, Kano Plains. We refer to them as plain Nilotes. So plain Nilotes, those who settle at the plains of Kenya include the Turkanas, the Masai, the Samburu, the Iteso, and the Gems. Remember, a plain is a low-lying area. It is also flat, but it is a low-lying area. So these people, after reaching the plains of Kenya, they saw there was water, there is also some pasture for the animals. Then they decided to settle there. We refer to them as plain Nilotes. And then there are those now who settle on the highlands part of Kenya. Remember, highlands part of Kenya include the Uasin Gishu area, the Marakwet area, okay? And these people saw that the place was very fertile because they were experiencing reliable rainfall. The soil was very fertile. Then they said the grass was very green for them, plenty of water, also plenty of pasture. Then they said, this is the place now we're going to settle, including the Nandi, Tugen, Marakwet, Kipsigis, Sabot, Keio, Pokot, Cherik, and Ogiek. So this one, they form part of the Highland Nilotes. They settle on the highlands part of Kenya, where it is believed they can carry what you call dairy farming. Dairy farming meaning they can keep animals that produce a lot of milk. So keeping livestock for production of milk mainly is what we call dairy farming. So this one, they practice dairy farming because the land was very suitable for them. Then the last group is the people now, the Nilotes, the group that moved further and settled near the lake. So they moved further from the plains, from the highlands of Kenya. There are this group of Nilotes that also went further and settled near the lake. So near Lake Victoria, you'll find out that we have the Luo forming part of the River Lake, Nilotes, and then they were migrating there in groups. We are going to talk about the Joko Jok, Joko Owini, Joko Molo, things like that later in our lesson. But now, as we finish this lesson, ensure that you have my notes. Ensure you have a very good table like that. It will help you. Then I've also prepared a mnemonic for you. If maybe you'll find it difficult for you to cram all this, I have made it simpler for you. So in your notes down there in your group, you'll find out that I have prepared a mnemonic for you that will help you to master the Nilotes, that is the plain Nilotes, we say means highland Nilotes, and also the River Lake Nilotes. So that one forms the end of our lesson for today. Write my notes and then check your group down there. You will find out that I have prepared a mnemonic for you. Otherwise, have a good